everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me one quick favor, see that little black subscribe button on the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, hit that little black subscribe button. Really does help this channel grow, my audience grow, and I appreciate it more than you know. Also, quick thank you to our presenting sponsor, Betfred Sportsbook and the Betfred Sportsbook app. Bet $50 on any game. Get up to $1,111 in free bets courtesy of the Betfred Sportsbook. Thank you again. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Let's quickly rip through everybody else. Let's start with Michigan State. 5.5 is the win total in the Betfred Sportsbook. And very interesting, the money is actually coming in on the under, -160, under 5.5, plus 130 to bet the over of 5.5. And when I look at Michigan State, they're fascinating to me from a lot of perspectives, but they're fascinating to me for this reason. 2021, pretty much everything goes right. Remember, that was the year they won 11 games, beat Michigan, went to the Fiesta Bowl, beat Pitt in the Fiesta Bowl. And then last year, just about everything went wrong. They played Washington before any of us realized they were any good. They played Minnesota, which was better than we realized at the time, and got smacked at home. They had the tunnel fight against Michigan that cost them several key players. So you talk about a program going from everything right to everything wrong. And again, to use the Goldilocks analogy, too big, too small, just right. You hope that things kind of balance out a little bit for Michigan State. Now, what's interesting is the roster that they have going into the year. They lost their starting quarterback to the portal in the offseason, Peyton Thorne, who's now at Auburn. And remember, he was the guy that was under center when they won 11 games. But the question becomes, there's buzz, depending on who you ask, that maybe Noah Kim, the backup, was set to take that job from him after last season. Played limited snaps, but 73% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Peyton Thorne was 63% completion in the full season. So there was buzz that maybe Noah Kim was going to get the job. The good news is your best running back, Jalen Berger, is back 700 yards rushing from a season ago. But you talk about the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. Keon Coleman, your best wide receiver, decides to enter the portal. He is now at Florida State. Jaden Reed, your second best wide receiver, is now in the NFL. As far as the defense is concerned, listen, it's just got to be better. And even you go back 2 years ago when that team won 11 games, remember, they had the worst pass defense in college football. Well, last season, 90th nationally in points per game allowed, 96th nationally in yards allowed, 110th nationally in rushing yards. And so Mel Tucker's supposed to be a defensive guy. And I know he's not calling plays and whatever, but you got to be better on defense if you're Michigan State. Now, the positives are the schedule a tiny bit more manageable than a year ago. You do have the return game against Washington, but that's at least in East Lansing. Washington, obviously, their breakout game last year was against Michigan State on national TV, but that game is in East Lansing. You also get Penn State and Michigan at home, although even the Penn State game that will be played at Ford Field in Detroit on whatever it is, Black Friday or Thanksgiving Day or whatever it ends up being. It's better, but is it enough? You also get Ohio State on the road. Was not pretty the last time they played there. In terms of the over-under, listen, I would probably lean over, thinking only that everything went right. Everything went right 2 years ago. Everything went wrong a year ago. But I can't in good conscience bet it. And I always tell you guys and girls on this show, never going to force you or tell you or lie or say I would bet something that I wouldn't. This feels like a total stay away to me. I'd lean over, but I don't feel great about it. And listen, man, Mel Tucker has another losing season. I know he's got that crazy contract, but going to be a lot of unhappy people if he can't at least get to 6-6 in a bowl game.